folks. Welcome to the side event. How's everybody feeling today?
Good, good.
Yeah? All right. My name is Andrew Jones, and I am the co-director of Climate Interactive. And as you can read, this session is about meeting the goals of Paris through decision-maker tools and climate education. And it's going to be a good session because it really is about rolling up our sleeves and seeing what it's going to take to deliver upon Paris goals. And I'm really happy that we've got two other good speakers with us who are going to share what they've been up to as well. Now, the premise of this session today is that decision makers are not going to address and solve this climate challenge sufficiently. Scientists aren't going to do it. Businesses alone aren't going to do it. It's going to take engagement of people around the world. We believe this is a time when we don't need 10,000 experts. We need 1 billion amateurs doing all they can effectively to make change. Not 10,000 experts, we need 1 billion amateurs. So if you believe that we do need all those people engaged in taking action effectively, you've come to the right side event. Because we have 3 organizations. To my left, this is Kenneth Nana Amwateng, who is with the Abiniman Foundation. They promote sustainable development using local knowledge. So we're going to hear from Kenneth about some of their work. And then to my right is Laur H Fisher with the MIT Center for Collective Intelligence. And that Center for the Collective Intelligence idea is tapping the power of those billion amateurs all around the world to come up with interesting solutions. So, here we go. I'm going to get it over to Laur, and she's going to tell you first about their work at the Center for Collective Intelligence.
Great. Thanks, Andrew.
Okay. Can you hear me from here? All right, great. So thank you for that wonderful introduction, and again, it's a pleasure to be here and be introducing to you the work that we're doing at MIT through the Climate CoLab project. Again, my name is Laur H Fisher, and I'm the project manager of the Climate CoLab. Now, how many people in this room have heard of Wikipedia? How many people have used Wikipedia? How many people use Wikipedia regularly? So, all the same number of hands showed up each time. So I work for the MIT Center for Collective Intelligence, as Drew mentioned, and we study online collaborative platforms like Wikipedia and how they can be used to help address some of the most challenging and complex problems that our world is facing today. Now, some of you who are not familiar with Wikipedia, it completely changed the way that we share information around the world, and it was created by the contributions and from the contributions of over 80,000 unique people from all over the planet. And so, I'm actually going to skip that part. But what I'm going to share is that I didn't come to the Center for Collective Intelligence because I am I'm a computer scientist. I almost said climate scientist, which I also am not. But I didn't come because I was a computer scientist. I came because I'm passionate about climate change, as everybody is here in the room today. As we all know, climate change is the most pressing problem that our world faces, and we haven't done nearly enough of what we know we need to do in order to effectively address it. So the Climate CoLab offers an online collaborative platform where a growing community of over 75,000 people from all around the world, including over 200 of the world's leading experts on climate change and related fields, can work together collaboratively online on creating solutions and plans on how to address global climate change. So our goal is about harnessing this collective intelligence of the billions to develop and evaluate proposals on how to address this issue. So people can participate on the Climate CoLab through a series of online contests that are interrelated. And you can work on the Climate CoLab in a number of different levels. So we have the global plan level, the national plan level, and the basic or the action level. So let me go through each of these briefly, starting with the basic or the action level. So here we run a series of contests, a dozen to 2 dozen every year, that are focused on different aspects of the climate change problem, from energy supply to waste management to transportation to land use and everything in between. It's a little small, but when you go to our website, you'll see our list of our contests look like this on the page. And we've actually broken down these subproblems based largely on the IPCC report, and we provided a way for people to actually see how these problems are related to each other and search for the contests inside of each of these subproblems. So we have people on the site who are proposing specific solutions to specific problems. And I'll talk a little bit more about what kinds of those solutions are in a few minutes. Now, on the national plan level, we actually invite people to participate in something that we call an integrated contest. Here we're not asking for individual proposals or individual solutions. We're asking for people to actually combine different solutions in energy, in waste management, in transportation, in land use, and all of these different subproblems into a comprehensive and detailed plan that could be applied at a national level. So we call these integrated proposals. And inside of a national plan, for one country, we will basically create spaces for all different countries, from every country from around the world, where people can actually combine these different proposals together to create integrated proposals for every single country on the planet. And so finally, on the global level, we run integrated contests where people can then combine the integrated proposals that are happening on a national level into a global plan. And they can actually look at, well, are these different action plans happening within these different countries actually add up to the kinds of targets that we're looking for on the global level, which we're all very familiar with. And so essentially what we're offering is, instead of having isolated meeting rooms where people are independently consulting with small groups of experts on how to address each of these problems, we really are opening up the national and international climate planning process to anyone around the world who wants to participate. So we do evaluation of every proposal that's submitted into one of our contests. So the judges will evaluate it based on novelty, feasibility, impact, and presentation. And each contest has a series of judges that do these evaluations. And what we're exploring now is how we can even use a crowd-based approach to do the evaluations of the proposals that are submitted onto the platform. So we've started this with impact. So we have a team that we call the Impact Assessment Fellows, and they'll actually work with the proposal author to assess the carbon mitigation potential, or say the CO2e mitigation potential of that proposal. And so we've just started this with mitigation and with reducing emissions, but we're hoping to expand this approach so that we can do analysis on different kinds of social feasibility, economic feasibility, political feasibility, impact on both adaptation and mitigation, and many others as well. So when we're talking about individual actions, we can calculate the impact in a specific region and a specific sector. And then we do this on the national and global levels. We actually use tools from Climate Interactive, which Drew will talk about in a few minutes, to assess the overall and much larger scale climate impacts of these national and global plans that users are creating and submitting onto the platform. And so we select, and our judges select, a series of winners each year to highlight some of the most compelling work that's happening in this area. And we invite them to MIT to present their work and to share it and introduce them to people who can help move things forward or clarify some certain spots. So these are some images of conferences that we've held at the past at MIT. And so who participates in this process? As I mentioned, we have a quickly growing network of over 75,000 people from all around the world. Almost every single country is represented. Most of them are graduates from college and university. In addition, we also have over 200 experts on climate change and related fields that participate as judges for the contest, but also participants in submitting proposals and commenting on the proposals that are there. And the people in this network are not just people focused on climate change. In fact, we've had many winners where this is their first foray into climate change. We've had some winners who have been software engineers, that have been health experts and doctors and architects. So I'm just going to share a few of the proposals that have come out of this initiative. On the global level, which we just piloted last year and the year before that, we had a proposal that actually suggested a world currency to price and finance carbon mitigation using a mechanism they called solar dollars. And they basically broke out how this could look in every country, how each country can implement it, and then how it would work together on an international level. And then for the United States, we piloted these regional contests last year. And one of the top proposals inside of that was about how cities could really lead the way, and creating low carbon cities was the way that the United States could help reach its climate goals. And on the basic or the action level, we've had a huge swath of proposals. We've had over 2,000 proposals submitted onto the platform. One of our grand prize winners last year was called the Sun Saluter, which is a low-cost passive solar tracker that would actually generate clean drinking water as the sun traversed across the sky. Or a campaign in India to engage students to then influence their parents on reducing energy. Or the Business Energy and Emissions Profile Dashboard, which is created by a company in Canada, in Vancouver, that is looking at how you can connect businesses and cities so they can share data with each other, so cities can track their businesses, the local businesses' carbon emission reductions, and incorporate those into their goals. So we've worked with quite a large number of organizations to run contests, not only in the general level, but also some specific challenges that these organizations are facing and challenged with. And one of the organizations that we're currently working with is the International Environmental Partnership, and that's a group with the US EPA, as well as Taiwan and Indonesia and Vietnam, Japan, and many other countries from around the world. And I'm happy that Dr. Jenny Shen is here. She's working collaboratively on this project with us, so thank you for being here. We also have a contest that's open right now that we're running in collaboration with the Secretary General's office. And we have some brochures outside about this as well. It's with the Ato Our Initiative, which is Anticipate, Absorb, Reshape. And they're running a contest to get your ideas and your projects on how the most vulnerable countries can anticipate the climate hazards that they're going to face. And so we currently have 26 proposals submitted onto that platform, and it closes in February. So we welcome you to submit your ideas so that you can be part of this process of what this Ato Our Initiative does. And so I want to thank you, and thanks Drew for organizing this panel, and thank you for having me here. The Climate CoLab and what we're doing, it shows that new technologies can make new things possible, and that's what we do at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. But not only more efficient solar panels or carbon capture technologies, but also new ways that the world can work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Now we'll hear from Kenneth, and give me 1 second and we'll set up the video that he's going to show for us.